This video is going to be bland, boring, but you'll probably learn something because this is a self-coaching session. It's going to be very embarrassing to do it in front of people because I'm going to be exposing myself for a few things that I've done so far, a few mistakes that I've done, and it's going to feel like I'm a beginner, even though I've made some progress, but still I'm going to do it. The lesson that I want to encapsulate in the next few months, or the lesson that I want to follow in the next few months, is expecting less of myself, because that's the complete opposite of what I've been doing so far. I've been expecting so much. I've been expecting myself to get to the six-pack. I've been expecting myself to get this many followers, to get this many likes, to get this many response from people saying that I've changed their lives, even though I haven't really inputted that much into my videos. I haven't really inputted that much into the content on Instagram, on the reels, on the stories and everything. And I haven't really shown up as much to deserve those things, to deserve the six-pack, to deserve the followers, to deserve the validation, to deserve those things. Okay? If you're someone, and I'm going to be talking to myself, so don't feel like I'm just attacking you. It's how I'm speaking to myself. If you're someone who thinks that the results will make you happy, let me tell you, it completely won't, okay? It completely won't. When you get that thing, you're gonna get used to it, and you're just gonna go back to the self you were. Your personality won't really change with your physique. It's just a few thought patterns that you develop whilst being on this fat loss journey. And it's because of the systems that you commit to. All right? Once you stop committing to the systems, you're just going to go back to the old person that you were. Most people don't understand this. But the people who have lost weight, they will understand this. 100%, okay? It's always the systems. It's always the routines. It's always the small things that need to be optimized for you to keep taking action and for you to keep showing up. All right, this place is so beautiful, man. Off point, but I'm telling you, if this was like near my place, if I was living near this place, I would come here every single morning and record like a raw talk like this. But back to the point. People just expect too much of themselves. This is why, since the beginning of the year, I've only lost about 1 pound, to be exact. And the past I think it was from end of August to end of December, I lost 24.6 pounds. And that was about like 3.5 to 4 months. That's above average results. How did I do that? It was because I expected less of myself, and I lowered the volume of the activities that I was doing, the steps, and the calories that I was eating. And it's starting to stink now. Shit, man, there's the horses, man. They have some kind of like coat on because it's cold. But I'd love to like learn horse riding, man, if I'm being honest. Like, you gotta think about all these men, like the greatest men that have ever lived. You know, they've ridden horses and stuff like that, so I want to do the same thing. I lost the weight because I prioritized consistency over being intense for a short amount of time. And prioritizing consistency comes with sacrificing seeing the results now. Okay, I'll say that again. With consistency, if you start to prioritize consistency, you must accept that you will not see fast results right now. In fact, you will suffer in the beginning. Just like people suffer when they're trying to get in flow. My entire shit, the entire ideology and the strategy that I followed was like maximizing the amount of flow that I could get inside of my routine. If you're thinking, oh, what the hell is this guy talking about? I'm gonna explain, okay? When people get into deep work and they can focus for hours long without really thinking about anything, they what you do is that you make the challenge and the skill match. All right, so skill, your ability, you know, your amount, the amount that you can do, and challenge, the amount of work that there is. If you can match those two things, you enter the zone. The athletes call this the zone, where everything just happens so fast. It just feels like play. The work feels like play, and you enjoy this shit so much more when you're inside of a flow. So I took that and I applied it to my own fat loss. What came out of it was fat loss flow, where the challenge matched the skill level, and I just had to find how much I needed to do for it to feel fun and for it to feel play. So the amount of steps that I was doing, the amount of calorie deficit that I was on, the amount of sleep that I had to get every single night, you know, all of these things, like if I should do a morning routine in the morning or not, if I should go to the gym in the morning or not, you know, it's all about optimizing those things. Bro, can it get more beautiful than this? I'm telling you, can it get more beautiful than this? There's mist, a little bit of rain. Oh, bro, this is like, I think the closest thing to heaven that I can get to. I'm joking, man, I'm joking. You know, the heaven is the end goal to this life, but still back to the point. Flow is the thing that we want to achieve. I disrupted the flow, and that is why I did not lose any weight this month so far, and last month. Lost like a pound, but I've just almost regained it back because I've been just trying to be extreme again. And what I mean by extreme is you try to disrupt the flow and do more than your skill level. The challenge level is more than the skill level that you're right now. So this varies from person to person. There's a guy out there who can do like 15k steps easily every single day. And if he can do that, and if he can sustain that every single day, and if you can consistently show up every single day without it feeling forced, then amazing, he should do it. But for a lot of people, it's not going to be like that. For a lot of people, it's going to be like, okay, they got to do like 7k steps every single day. That's what, if you're an obese person, if you're an overweight person, of course you're not going to be able to do 20k steps every single day. You know what I mean? So you got to optimize for the most, like, for that part where the challenge matches the skill. You just got to optimize that the most. And when you optimize that, you enter this flow state where the routine just passes by so quickly you can't even really fathom it. It's just automated. Everything is automated. The thing that disrupts the flow is trying to get the results quicker, you know, and that's the mistake that I did. When most people think that the amount of effort that you put into this, the more reward you're gonna get. It's linear thinking. You know, people think, yeah, that's the curve. The more effort that I put in, the more reward that I'm gonna get in. They think like, oh, fat loss is like driving a car. The more you drive the car, the further you're gonna get. No, it doesn't work like that. Fat loss is psychological. If fat loss was physical, everybody would be able to do it just by hearing or just listening to the activities. But everyone has a plan when it comes to weight loss. Everybody knows what to do. Everybody knows what a calorie deficit is. But why is like 70% of America overweight? You know why? It's because fat loss is psychological, and 99% of the people who are on a weight loss journey haven't understood that. That's why like 90% of people fail, right? And those who win, they lose, like they gain the weight back. So that's the problem. What do I mean weight loss is psychological? I mean that it's a inverted curve. The less you do, the more you get. Inverted curve goes like this, where the more effort that you try to put, the less reward you're gonna get. Think about the class clown, the guy who tries to make everyone laugh. From time to time, he gets very, very annoying. You know what I mean? And he's like the most unlikable guy inside of the class. Why? Because he tries hard to be likable. The guy who tries to be confident is the least confident guy in the room. The guy who tries to be happy is usually the unhappiest guy in the room, because they're focused on psychological things. Fat loss and trying to be disciplined and everything, all that shit goes under the category of psychology, like psychological things that you need to improve on. Because it's not just about the activities. Everyone knows what they need to do. It's just not, they can't do it. And why they can't do it is because it's psychological. That's what I've learned so far. And that is why I have to optimize for longevity. I have to optimize for having the results for a long period of time. And usually what happens is that if you get the results quick, you can lose it very quick as well. You can just see how red my hands are, bro, from just holding this camera. It's cold. The other day I talked to a mentor of mine who told me like my physique transformation is actually like decent. I could actually help guys who are overweight and give them advice, because so far I've only been thinking, yeah, I can give advice, my physique is not enough, I've only lost 25 pounds. Only 25 pounds. Like, let's think about that for a minute. People can't even lose 5 pounds on their own, and I have lost 25 pounds, and I only lost it in less than 4 months following the correct systems. Before that, I was just bullshitting around. Before that, I was just going from plan to plan, and I didn't have the correct mindsets. You know, when I went to Thailand, it just taught me a lesson. When I came back from it, I learned so many lessons from it. I was like, I gotta stop going, or stop wanting to go so fast. You know, there's people who get shit fast, but they sabotage themselves for the next 6 months. There may be a guy out here who's showing you his transformation, physique transformation, and he's lost the weight in like 3 months. And he's lost like 20, 30, 50 pounds in like 3, 4, 5 months. Very fast. But if they have not been following their authentic pace, and if the challenge was more than the skill that they had, you know what's going to happen? In the next few months, they're going to gain the weight back, and they're going to probably not document anymore on social media, not show their face anymore, just not upload any content anymore. I've seen so many people do this. I literally seen a guy who was literally documenting his weight loss journey, and he had lost like 50 pounds or 70 pounds, something close to that. And his last video was like months ago, like 7 months ago or something like that, last time I checked. I may be wrong, but there's so many people who just quit, and they can't show their faces anymore because they lost that consistency. And when you lose consistency, it's basically like you lost your foundation, you lost your mind. And when you lose your mind, you just quit. You can't be bothered with it anymore. So that's something that I'm trying to avoid. I don't want to be that guy who just quits. Go outside, man. Go outside. If you're someone who's struggling mentally, just go outside for like 2 hours. Go on a walk. Don't go to gym doing shit like inclined. I see so many people do like incline on the treadmill. And I'm thinking like, are these people like stupid? Are these people actually stupid? Like, why are you trying to do incline? Why are you trying to like make yourself suffer when it's specifically like cardio doesn't even add that much? It just like kind of makes you go a little bit faster, bro. It's mostly the calorie deficit, but most people mess up on their diet and they try to do a lot on the cardio, and that's why they don't lose the weight. They think extremely one thing but can't commit to the other thing that's actually important. I have people in my life who, when they start, they go hard, they go extreme, they try to do everything all at once. And I did this myself. You know, I did it myself. There are people who just go very, very hard, and they're like, yeah, I'm gonna do this very hard. I'm a changed person. And then maximum, I would say 2 weeks afterwards, they just lose everything. They lose everything. They just quit because they try to change everything all at once. People don't understand that you don't become a new person when you lose the weight. You truly don't. You just change a few things inside of your head, a few beliefs that you had. For example, one thing being lowering your ego. You have a big ego for a person who's obese, overweight, whatever. I'm telling you. And it's because I know this, because I had a big ego. I thought I knew shit. Just because I had researched a little bit on weight loss and I had like read something on ChatGPT, I thought like, oh, my situation is different, bro. Like, I need to do this. Other people are other way, you know. This like way of going slower is for pussies. Like, I can go fast. I can do it. I didn't lose weight for 15 months straight. I kept losing it and then I gained it back. I lost it again, gained it back, lost it again, gained it back, gave up, start again. That's what happens when you think you're special. You're not special. You're a human just like everybody else. Like almost 8 billion people in the world. Your body works the same way. If you're in a deficit, you're gonna lose the weight, okay? You're not that special. You don't really have that much of a big disease or this diabetics or whatever the hell. Doesn't matter if you're a man or woman, if you have this some kind of thyroid problems or whatever. Oh, I can't walk. You can't walk? What the hell are you talking about? I have people in my life who say I can't walk. You're lazy. You're just lazy. I think I have too high of a standard for myself. That's why I think a lot of people don't really I don't see why they're failing. I think like other people have the same standards as me. But you genuinely have to be humble. You just genuinely have to be humble when you're starting this plan, because if you're not, you're gonna get humbled eventually. Eventually you're gonna get humbled. And then you're gonna look at yourself in the mirror, you're gonna hate yourself even more. You're gonna be like, you're gonna do all this harsh talk, you're gonna talk to yourself in this harsh way. Just because you didn't lower your ego and your expectations. When you don't lower your expectations, you'll eventually quit. Because your ego and your emotions got in the way. Okay, you gotta stop being a baby and start to think like a mature individual and lower the expectation. Understand that the time will pass anyway. Remove the scarcity mindset from your head. Remove the fear that you will fail, and just start committing to the actions and start enjoying it. Enjoy the process, enjoy the journey. Having the physique will only make you happy momentarily. I have lost 25 pounds. I don't notice a difference. I notice a difference with my physique, but it's like I still struggle. I still feel shit from time to time. It's the same way. It's the same thing, man. And I can 100% guarantee to you, if I had a six-pack right now, I'd probably feel the same way. Because I see the patterns, man. I see the patterns. Every single time it's like this. It doesn't matter if it's a toy for a kid, or a car for an adult, or a phone for a teenager. You'll get the thing. You'll become excited for a week or two, and then it will wear off. And then you're trying to chase that feeling with another thing. It's the same thing with people who are drug addicts, or people who are addicted to anything. You know, everyone's addicted to something. There are people who say addiction doesn't exist, you know, but everyone is trying to chase something in this world. And they keep chasing it and they keep thinking, yeah, it's gonna make me happy. But it's not gonna make you happy, bro. And there are people out there who are chasing something and they know it's not gonna make them happy. I think those people are the true winners. That's what I'm trying to be. I'm trying to chase something that I know isn't gonna make me happy, but still I'm gonna chase it, because what other thing is there in life to do, bro? Sit around, like being fat, whatever. being comfortable. You gotta get out of your own head, man. Get out of your own head. Stop criticizing yourself so much. Understand and believe that it's possible. Stop trying to think and grow rich. Stop trying to manifest, because it doesn't work like that. Your life ain't gonna change that much, apart from getting a few compliments from people in your circle who are secretly jealous of you. And also, like, looking at yourself in the mirror from time to time, noticing your like jawline more, looking at your physique, smiling a little bit more. That's it. Doesn't really change that much. People who say your entire life changes, everything changes, you know, they're just trying to say that for their own benefit, man. They're just trying to say that to sell you shit. That's it. They're trying to sell you a dream that doesn't exist. You'll never stop feeling shit about yourself until you decide not to feel shit about yourself. You could literally decide not to feel shit about yourself right now, today, this minute, this time. And you could just start your weight loss journey and just commit. That is it. Why the rush? You know, it's like Joker says, why so serious? Why are you so serious? And you know, consistency over intensity doesn't mean that you gotta be like, getting slower results doesn't mean that you gotta be a pussy about it. You gotta not show up, you gotta do less and everything. Doing less doesn't mean that you gotta be less obsessed. Or not being serious doesn't mean you gotta be less obsessed. You can be obsessed, but still not be a, how do I say this without swearing? You probably know what I want to say, bro. You can be obsessed without nagging about it. You know what I mean? Consistency over intensity is actually harder than intensity over consistency, because consistency over intensity requires you to show up for a long period of time, and that is why it's harder. It's not easy, but it's simple. Quoting Michael Smoke, I think, or Smoak or something, his name, Higher Wellness. Consistency over intensity is not about being a pussy, man. It's not about doing less. It's about being smart and understanding that you gotta do the amount of thing that you can do right now. If you try to go too fast, you ruin everything. That's what I tried to do. When I went to Thailand, I wanted to make $100,000 per month in 3 months. I wanted to get a six-pack in 3 months, or in 1 month even, and become a Muay Thai fighter. All three things, all three big goals, at the same time, whilst being sleep deprived, not sleeping the entire night, eating 1,200 calories per day, training 1 hour, 3 minutes of Muay Thai every single day, and trying to work 8 hours per day. And the actual reality was procrastination. That was what we were doing, because we were not getting any result. If you're not getting any results, it's probably because the action that you're doing is procrastination. Showing up very hard in the short term, but getting results, that is procrastination in a way, if you're honest about it, because that kind of, you're shooting yourself in the leg in the long run. You know, you're trying to run on ice. If you try to run on ice, you're going to fall hard, and once you fall hard, you're gonna break your leg, and once you break your leg, you sabotage yourself for months. That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to go extreme, and that is the exact problem. The exact problem is you think that the result is something that has more value than you right now. You think that being shredded or having a six-pack will give you so much validation, but I'm telling you, the only respect to be earned is your own, and you can earn that respect just by showing up daily. You know, instead of thinking that the six-pack is gonna be something that's gonna make you earn your own respect, but no, it's gonna be the daily show-ups. It's gonna be you showing up every single day, enjoying the work, and continuing to pursuing your potential rather than trying to think that this thing is going to make me happy. It's going to make me respect myself. It's not. It's not. The car ain't gonna make you respect yourself. Your wife respecting you isn't gonna make you respect yourself. Your kids respecting you isn't gonna make you respect yourself. You showing up daily and being consistent is going to make you respect yourself. And consistency doesn't mean just with actions, just with steps, just with calorie deficit. It means with the thoughts that you have. You know, the reoccurring thoughts that are inside of your brain, are they consistent or are they intense? Are they extreme? Can you control your lust? Let's be real. Can you control all the bad thoughts that come inside of your head? Can you coach yourself through the pain? What if someone dies right now inside of your family? Will you have the ability to show up still every single day, like 2-3 months after that person passes? Or are you going to be the person who destroys themselves with alcohol and distractions? It goes deep. It goes way deeper than you think. It goes way deeper than a few packs here lined up on your stomach. It's way deeper. A lot of people underestimate the transformation that you need to undergo in order to earn the things in life. Because it's all psychological work, man. The work works more on you than you work on the work. Amazing quote by Hormozi. Most people won't get it. Let's replay what I said for the last 10 minutes. I think you probably need it.